In this video, I will explain you what is electron emission and different types of electron emissions. Now, in the last video, I have explained you when a radiation, so in the case of radiation, I could say that when a radiation that is having sufficient energy incident on an electron, now these electrons will be coming out of a metallic surface only when this radiation carries an energy higher than the work function. Now, if the work function is 5 electron volt, if a radiation of 4 electron volt is coming, then this cannot take an electron from its orbit, or this cannot take an electron from the metallic surface. Only the radiation that have energy above 5 electron volt, that is the work function, and above 5 electron volt can only take an electron from a metallic surface. Now, this can be done with a radiation, because radiations carries energy, and this process of taking an electron out of metallic surface can be done with thermal emission, with thermal energy. Now, when we are heating a surface, we are basically giving thermal energy to electron, and this electron will be vibrating at its lattice, and these electrons, whenever it is getting sufficient energy, they can come out of the metallic surface. So here we are providing thermal energy, so that is in the form of heat, and with that energy these electrons are coming out. Now, these electrons which are emitted from a metallic surface is called as thermions. Thermion, yeah. Now, why it is termed as thermion? Because the thermal energy made this possible, made this emission possible. Now, in the case of field emission, we have an atom having a nucleus and one electron. Now, we are keeping it in an electric field. So, let's say this is positive and this is negative. Now, these electrons, this negative sheet will be pushing electrons in this direction, and these positive charges will be pulling it in this direction. Now, when the field is sufficiently strong, it can take an electron from a metallic surface. So, here also this should carry sufficient energy. So, I mean, see, whenever we are providing electric field, at any point in the electric field, we can measure the potential. So, whenever a charge is kept at that potential, we know that that charge will carry potential energy, right? So, this can be termed as, this can be explained with the help of force. Higher this force, it has higher tendency to come out, or it can also be measured with the help of electric field. So, both are connected. I mean, electric potential energy due to electric field. Okay. So, when it is having sufficient energy, with that energy, the electron will come out. Okay. That is called as field emission, and these electrons are simply called as electrons itself, because field is connected with charges. So, electron will possess its, its bond nature. Okay. Next thing is photoelectric emission. In the photoelectric emission, we know that we have a nucleus and electrons with an atom. Now, when a light having sufficient energy that falls on an electron, these electrons will come out of the metallic surface, and this process is called as photoelectric emission, because the reason here is a photon. Photon is nothing but light. So, only light having sufficient energy will make this possible, not all the light. But anyway, this process is called as photoelectric emission, because with the help of energy carried by photon, this process is possible. Okay. So, these electrons are termed as photoelectron. So, all these names has a connection with the source, the way how it has emitted. With thermions, it means that it is thermally emitted electrons. With field emission is simply electron. With photoelectron, it gives an indirect meaning that these electrons are taken out or emitted with the help of a photon carrying sufficient energy. Okay, thank you.